Hello friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Gaurav. So today we are going to learn geography. Second chapter, agriculture. So let's move to the second chapter, agriculture. So let's start. So first of all, what are the basics of the chapter agriculture? What does it means? We are going to learn. And what does India provide? Means what is the important role of agriculture in our nation India? So we are going to learn this all aspects, learn this all information from this chapter agriculture. It is so easy chapter and but it is a broad chapter means it is a very lengthy. So let's start. First, India is an agriculturally important country. Let's move to the this. India is an agriculturally important country. Agriculture is an age-old economic activity in our country. Means India provides a very important role to the agriculture because agriculture means provide food to us and we consume the food for energy. And agriculture is age old economic. What does it means from ancestors this agriculture is practiced in our country. Two-thirds of population is engaged in agriculture activity. Means two-third population, you can see here the rough figure. Two-third population engaged in agriculture activities. Agriculture is a primary sector. We already know that in ninth standard we learned the sectors of primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector. Agriculture is a primary activity means comes in primary sector, which produces most of food that we consume. I told already. It also produces raw material for various industries. Many industries like cotton industry, like textile industry, agriculture provides raw material. Agriculture products like tea, coffee, spices are also exported. Means the products, the commodities of agriculture are tea, coffee, and spices, which are exported to other countries. In last year, the question came which products are exported? Tea, coffee, and spices are them. So let's move to the next point. We completed India as in agriculture. Let's move to the types of farming. What are types of farming? There are three types of farming: primitive subsistence farming, and intensive subsistence farming, and commercial farming. So let's move primitive. First type of farming is primitive subsistence farming. Farmer clear a patch of land and produce cereals and other crops. Use primitive tools like hoe, dove, and digging sticks. Means this is a farming done by very old method by tools like dove, digging sticks, and tools. And it is produce only the cereals and some food crops, not in a large scale. Farming depends upon a monsoon, natural fertility of soil and suitability of other environmental factors. Means farming in this primitive subsistence farming, this depend upon the monsoon, depend upon the environmental conditions, on the factors, depend upon the natural fertility. When the soil fertility decreases, the farmers shift and clear a fresh patch of land cultivation. Means this is a very simple meaning is that when the land gets degrades only one time it can use the land the farmers, then after degrade, after loss of fertility, the land is burned, and due to burn the nutrients came back and the land again. Let's see. The type of shifting allows nature to replenish the fertility of soil. Yes, after burning, the fertility of soil came back and the nutrients came back. This method is known as slash and burn methods. And land productivity in type of agriculture is low as the farmer does not use fertilizers. Means its productivity, its production, its outputs are low because they didn't use fertilizers and modern inputs. And the slash and burn is also known as Juming, Milpa, Roka. These are the exported names of slash and burn like Juming, Milpa, and Roca. So let's move ahead. Second type of farming, that is intensive subsistence farming. You can see here intensive subsistence farming. Practice in area of high population pressure means high population pressure depends on this intensive subsistence farming on the land. It is a labor intensive farming means the labors are abundant factor of this farming. High doses of biochemical inputs and irrigation are used for obtaining high production. Mean it is more advanced than primitive farming. It is advanced than primitive farming because they uses irrigation process and some biochemical inputs for their production. Farmers continue to take maximum output from the limited land in the absence of alternative source of livelihood. Means the farmer take all the doses, all the maximum output that contributed means that from the limited land means most of the 100% of farm they take 99% of all the output from the limited land for the livelihood. There is a enormous pressure on the agriculture land means it have a enormous pressure means all the input means outputs are taken out, so it has a enormous pressure. So let's move to the third part of the farming, that is commercial farming, my favorite. In word commercial we can say that commercial means for business, for communities, for money, for profit this farming is happen. Here what it, the outputs is very large. Characteristic feature use of higher doses of modern inputs means you can see that they use higher doses of modern inputs like HIV seeds, chemical fertilizer, insecticides, pesticides to obtain higher productivity. Means they use all in increased way. HIV seeds, chemical pesticides, chemical fertilizers, water, irrigation, all used in higher doses. So it is known as commercial farming. The degree of commercialization of agriculture varies from one region to another. Means this commercialization, this farming commercialization varies one region to another. Means in starting in the initial position it is practiced it only modern farming in Punjab and the western parts of Uttarakhand and in Haryana. Then afterwards it varies from another region, it comes in Bihar, it comes in Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Kerala. So it is known as degree of commercialization. For example, rice is commercial crop in Haryana and Punjab, but Orissa it is subsistence crop. So let's move. Rice is commercial crop in Haryana and Punjab, but in Orissa it is subsistence farm crop. Means rice is cultivated with a very higher doses of chemical inputs, but in Orissa it is used like a primitive by hand oven, hoe, dog. So let's move ahead. Next is plantation. It is also known as agriculture, but its method is different. Plantation is a type of commercial farming. In this type of farming, is a single crop is grown on large area. The plantation has an interface of agriculture and industry. Means it is a type of a commercial farming where it provides a raw material to the agriculture also or for industry also. In this type of farming, a single crop is grown on large scale. Yeah. Means for a 10 hectare only maize is grown. Means a large scale but only single crop. Plantations cover large tracts of land using capital intensive inputs with the help of migrant laborers. Means it uses the tractors, it uses the capital inputs, it uses also the laborers. All the produce is used as raw material in respective industries. I already told it used as a raw material in industries. In India, tea, coffee, rubber, sugarcane, banana are important plantation crops. These are examples of plantation crop. Tea, coffee, rubber. Tea in Assam and North Bengal, and coffee in Karnataka. So let's move. There are three types of crops. You already learned in previous means in small classes Rabi crops and Kharif crops. But this is new. Rabi crops are known as grow in winter season, and Kharif crops are grown in monsoon season or rainy season, and Zaid crops is grown in the period of winter and rainy means in the period of Rabi and Kharif spring season or summer season. It is also known as summer season. So let's move to the Rabi crops. Sown in winter from October to December and harvested in summer from April to June. Means its plantation, it started from October to December and harvested. Means the production came in summer, April to June. Importance of Rabi crops are Important Rabi crops are wheat, barley, peas, gram and mustard. Mustard in Hindi we called rai. These are the examples of Rabi crops. Found usually in northwestern parts such as Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu Kashmir, Uttaranchal, Uttar Pradesh. These are the states where the Rabi crops are found. Let's revise north and northwestern parts of Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, J&K, Uttaranchal, UP. The success of Green Revolution in Punjab, Haryana, Western Uttar Pradesh and parts of Rajasthan has been an important factor in growth of above mentioned Rabi crops. Means the Green Revolution, the idea of Green Revolution came from the Rabi crops, for the Rabi crops in these states. So let's move to the Kharif crops. I give one idea that you make a column that like this, and your Rabi crops, Kharif crops, Zaid crops, and your all the crops you can mention your this, and mention the states here. Make a table. So let's move to the Kharif crops. Kharif crops are grown in the onset of monsoon, harvested in September October. Important crops growth are paddy, maize, jawar, bajra, tur, moong, urad, cotton, jute, groundnut, and soybean. These are the important examples, means important crops of Kharif. Important rice growing regions are Assam, West Bengal, coastal regions of Orissa.